fairvote.org if you want to connect with any of those issues. So.
Thanks. Representative Carroll?
In addition to issues raised by Senator Raskin, I would also say that state legislature should move towards expanding the franchise again. We've done a lot to constrain, and it's time that we fight back against that and move to expand it. And expand it on two fronts. One, expand the eligible pool of those people who can run for office. And one of the ways that we can do that is through things like public financing of elections. Although I'm an incumbent and I wouldn't mind an opponent, but it would be awfully hard. Well, I wouldn't mind an opponent, but it would be awfully hard for someone to run against me at this point without public financing being in place because of the power of incumbency and the amount of money that I can raise. I mean, I don't have an opponent, and I nearly have $30,000 or $40,000 in my campaign account at this point, which makes it hard for someone to run against me. And also, the lack of public financing excludes people in certain economic categories without access to certain resources that those of us who are elected currently have. When I look at our General Assembly, there are 2 African-American males, 1 African-American woman out of 100 of us, 65 in the House, 35 in the Senate. There may be 4 Hispanics, no Asians, and no Native Americans in our General Assembly. And I attribute that to the way that we run and finance our campaigns. And if we want to expand the franchise in terms of who can run for office, we have to find different ways to do that. And it's not just racial diversity, it's also gender diversity, although we have more females than males in the Democratic caucus of the State House. But also diversity in terms of social economic groups. That will come, I believe, with public financing of elections. The next point, in terms of expanding the franchise, I would say that we have to move towards Election Day registration and make it easier for people to show up and vote and remove the constraints that keep people from showing up and voting. I think that's absolutely important and crucial that we do this in our democracy. And technology can allow us to do this. I think it's just a red herring when you say that if we have Election Day registration, someone's going to go all over the state registering and then vote and throwing off the elections in various parts of a state. We have the technology to preclude to mitigate against that and keep that from happening. So those are my 2 closing points.